Then over the past year, my next guest has shown us she's not scared of a challenge. She triumphed in last year's Strictly Come Dancing. She walked through the desert in Africa for comic relief and now treading the boards for the first time in the West End in Pygmalion. Cara Toyton is right here and Nadia has joined us as well because it's a reunion of the girls.
It is.
Sitting on a tent.
I know, it's surreal.
It does feel really strange, doesn't it? Because that was an amazing time. It was an extraordinary time. It really was. And I always remember that I looked like being dragged through a hedge backwards. And look at Madam in the middle, looking fabulous.
But she was lovely, wasn't she? When it got a bit deserty and a bit dull and a bit sandy, we'd just look at Cara.
No, but I had my lip gloss, didn't I? And my mirror.
You did. You looked stunning.
And I kept thinking, Ronnie kept looking at me thinking, she's not going to put some lip gloss on. And I said, yes, I am.
But I think a little bit of glamour in the desert is absolutely fine. There we are.
They never said we weren't allowed.
No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Of course they didn't. A little bit of glamour is good for you. But it was extraordinary, wasn't it? It really was.
Oh.
And you know, in a week, you get to know somebody so well, don't you? That's the thing. You get to know somebody. Very intense.
Friendship moment.
Absolutely.
And when I feel a bit down, well, first I think of all the people we met and I think, shut up, you're being ridiculous. But then if I want to laugh, I think of us on the first night next to that kind of toilet, our first night in the desert.
And what toilet was this?
That's hole in the floor with the
we all held each other's hands, didn't we?
And we all got these torches on our heads. And Lorraine was always very brave.
Yeah. I was striding.
This woman will wee anywhere.
Absolutely. No, it's true. You've got to go, you've got to go.
Where are you off to? And she'd walk a mile into the darkness. She wouldn't care.
Oh, it was hilarious. It was really, really funny. It really was great fun. And of course, we were there on the West End debut. And that was such a brilliant night. It really was, wasn't it? Because we were quite nervous for you. not that we didn't think it was going to be amazing, but it's a big deal, isn't it, Cara?
It was. It was so amazing for you to be there. And I guess I was kind of nervous because I had my friends in the audience and my family and you guys. And I guess it's been a dream of mine to sort of be in the West End and do the theatre thing. And I'm in my element. I can't tell you, it's the best job I've ever had.
You're a very good Liza Doolittle in Pygmalion.
Do you remember when we were on the plane and you were saying that you auditioned for it and you were really nervous and we were like, she's going to get it. She's born to play it because you've got that vulnerability and you're so funny and beautiful and all those things. And of course she was classic action. I'll never get it.
Oh, never get it. Well, I didn't want to talk about it too much, but I did talk about it a bit while we were walking and kind of get the time going. And I didn't dream in a million years that, you know, if you told me this last year that I'd be playing this, you know, My Fair Lady, I've grown up watching, and for anyone who doesn't know, Pygmalion's the play version, but it's one of those roles for a woman that's got so much in it, and you can't get bored because there's the beginning, the Cockney that I had no problems with.
No, that was right.
And then obviously this development of the voice, and I've loved working with my voice coach, and I'm hoping, because working with Diana Rigg, Rupert Everett, and all these very well-spoken people, I'm hoping I'm going to come out of this with a permanently posh accent.
Right. That would be strange. That would be very strange. Because let's say, this is pretty grown-up, you know? This is grown-up stuff. This is the West End. And as you said, you've got Rupert Everett there, who's very grumpy, and very, very grumpy. Not in real true life, of course, but very grumpy on stage, you know. And he is Higgins, and he's very sort of... And actually plays it quite dark, I thought. It was quite... You know, he's a tough character, really tough.
He does. I guess that was the director's choice, because he has been brought up by this mother who's very well sort of orientated and knows a lot, and he just is in love with his dialect job, and he's obsessed, almost asexual, and is only in love with what he does for a living. And he takes this girl and kind of... It's quite a sad ending, really, because all the tools he gives her, as well as the tools she had as this strong, streetwise young woman, turns her into a bit of a monster in the end, and the weapons that he's given her come thrusting back at him. And so it traps her in a way, but traps him as well.
Because we were rowing about the end, weren't we? We weren't sure whether you left empowered with the other fella. Or how broken-hearted. But that's great when you go to the theatre and then you have a bit of a row about it afterwards.
Yes, it's good to have that, not knowing the end, how it makes you feel, sort of.
No, it's brilliant, but you're a triumph, and very good at comedy as well, because that scene where she's not quite posh enough. I love that scene in the movie with Audrey Hepburn. It's a hoot, but really, really funny. Very, very funny.
That scene.
And of course, first night, your lovely man was there.
He was.
How is he? How's he doing?
He's really well. He's just been told he's doing the next season of Strictly Come Dancing.
Fantastic.
So I'm going to have to watch him run off with another partner. Well, not run off. No, better not say that.
Dance.
Just dance.
Just dancing.
Just dance. But
no.
we've had so much support from Strictly, and in fact, a group of people who have been supporting us all the way through came to watch me last Saturday. They called themselves the June the 11th group, and they all stood up, and it was lovely. It was lovely to see them.
Really
Strictly changed my life.
Do you still dance with him? Do you two, like, when you're out of an evening?
Or in the kitchen. I like to picture them dancing in the kitchen.
Do you not? All dressed up as well. All dressed up in those beautiful clothes. You're dancing about, doing the washing.
My Paso Doble outfit in the kitchen. No, I miss it, really and truly. When you do that show, it takes over, but then it sort of comes to an end. And I keep saying, you know, swirl me around a bit, but we haven't done anything. So it's a bit sad. So I do need to get back to it. It's a great form of exercise.
Oh, no, absolutely, absolutely. But it will be odd, you know, seeing him working with somebody else, but having said that, at least he'll be here, because you've got this long-distance romance right now.
I know, it's one of those visa situation sort of annoyances, but it means that he'll be here most of the time, but he has to dash back to LA and sort the visa out and come back. So it's a bit annoying, but we'll make it work.
But then you have the lovely reunions.
We do, which is all worth it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, look, stay with us, because we're going to talk snoring, because we've had so many texts about lack of sleep and snoring. Ruby's got in touch this morning. We're talking about snoring. Wayne in Hampshire says, my partner snores. I love her for it. It makes her the person she is. Kerry in Surrey says, my partner snores so loudly, he wakes my 9-week-old baby up. And Emma says, I get a lovely night's sleep since my husband started working nights. It is a nightmare, isn't it? But girls obviously don't snore.
I snore so badly that when I was sharing a flat with Kay Adams when we were doing Loose Women, I didn't believe her, so she taped me.
Right.
And she played it on live television, and that was the first time I had to come out of denial. It was literally... Now, my husband is so exhausted all the time because I've passed it on to my girl children, as my mother passed it on to me. All the women... I did, darling.
Did you?
Oh, I did.
It's just that Dermot's overtook yours.
Yeah. Dermot sort of started out like a wee woodland creature snoring in the desert, and it was like... and then it was like, whoa!
The thing is, that was me.
I'm sure.
You've only just told us.
He stayed like a little woodland creature when he was... And I was just like...
You let Dermot take the flak.
Oh, jeez. It's so difficult, though, because you end up... I mean, Georgina says my partner snores, grinds his teeth, and sleep talks. Wow. Sleep
Grinding
talks.
teeth is horrible.
But she said her 2-year-old little girl does it as well.
Yeah.
She wakes her up 3 or 4 times in the night. And you know what? It's really difficult. If you don't get a good night's sleep, you get grumpy.
Well, it's so annoying because Marcus says I'm so exhausted. I said, do you know that it's scientific fact that people that snore and grind their teeth don't sleep properly? I'm exhausted too.
What can people do for that?
They wake yourself up when you're snoring.
You can have a wee operation, can't you? You can have something done. But, I mean, you know, that's pretty radical.
There are no homeopathic remedies?
No, the thing you can have, and I've looked into this, is this enormous... It looks like a gas mask, right? And you put it over your whole face, and it's got an oxygen tank beside
but
it. And I
pretty
thought that really will
radical.
finish my marriage.
Do you know what? It's been so great to see both of you and continue to do so brilliantly in Pygmalion. It's great to see both of you, it really is. We're away for a blether now and a cup of tea. Yes. See you on Monday. Bye.